Hey everyone, it's Will, Gamer Dad, with another video for you. So in today's video, we're going to go over the newest banner, which is another style, Okaminokami, also known as AS Kikyo. And of course, you do have to go to the App Store or the Play Store to update to the newest version 2.13.700. If you haven't already, make sure you like and subscribe to my channel, I really appreciate it. I also do have a Patreon account for those who want to support me this way. So in tonight's episode of Should You Summon, we will now cover these two banners. So first off, obviously we do have the Faithful, which is a 2x, pretty standard stuff at this point. And note that there has been some changes to the length of the availability of the banner. So for the Faithful, it looks like it's about a month still. I believe that the free banner should be 2 months, but I'll check in once I check the second banner. Like most Faithfuls, it will have pulls 1 to 9 at 0.4 for the normal style Yukino, 0.8 for the normal style 5-star, as well as 0.8 for the AS version. And of course, on the 10th pull, it does have it uprated to 10%. Like all other Faithfuls, all the newest units, including Alma, Ultra Shion, and AS Lily, all those are in the banner. And of course, the standard complement of bots, Rainbow Sisters, and Knights. You can see those there. And let's take a look at the free banner. So yes, now it is available until December 10th UTC, which is great actually for those of us who don't hit it right away on the first couple of 10 pulls. Not only that, you'll have some time to kind of save up, especially if you have burnt out your stone. So you'll have a little bit of chance to go for this banner in the future. Let's take a look at the odds. So thankfully, Yukino AS is not shared with any other banner other than herself. So for those who have no form of Yukino, you will have a 2% uprate per single pull, and of course, slightly uprated on the 10th pull for the 4.5, which by the way can side grade to the 5-star. If you're free to play, I would highly advise that you would use this method of side grading from 4.5 or 5-star normal to the AS version. It's easier as a free to play instead of spending stones on this. However, if you're a paid player or you have, more money at your disposal, then you can go ahead and, do whatever is easiest, especially if you do want AS Yukino faster. Like most non-paid or free banners, the newest units aren't here. I don't believe AS Lily will be here. Let's take a quick look here. I don't see it offhand. Let's just take a quick look. No, unfortunately, no. Lily is just here, as you can see right there. All right. So, for those who missed my summary about AS Yukino yesterday, she is an extremely amazing support, has a little bit of DPS in the form of her snowman form, but I would argue that's mainly used as a support unit, especially now. First of all, she is our newest Pierce Zone setter. When she VCs in, she does have ability to VC in and establish Pierce Zone, as well as restore all party members' MP. And one great thing about her as a zone setter is that she has an extremely beneficial end of turn restore, depending on the number of Pierce moves done that turn. If you get up to 4 Pierce moves, you get up to 2,500 HP recovered, as well as 50 MP recovered, which is really, really, really good. Most zone setters only recover upwards of 1,000 HP at the max. Not only that, she has a move that replaces her basic attack. It gives a barrier to all party members that reduces any damage of 5,000 or less to 0 until the end of turn. So this should be a continuous effect. That means you can get hit 5,000 multiple hits. If it's a 6x 4k hit, for example, it'll be 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Really, really, really useful. And even if it's used, it goes away. But if you do get 15 Pierce moves done, then she regenerates this ability to activate a barrier. One small downside, it is not a preemptive barrier, so you'll need a high speed ability to activate that if you need that. Not only that, she does have the ability to lock in zone, and she still has her 4-star ability to turn into a Yuki Snow Girl, which does end of turn magic attacks. Not only that, she turned into the Snow Girl so that if someone hits her, instead of her taking damage or fatal damage, it converts her back into her normal form. Now, keep in mind, it only takes a single hit to convert her, I believe. So if it's a multi-hit, I think she will convert and then she'll die. Very similar to AS Kikyo. However, you can correct me if I am wrong on that because I don't have Yukino in any form. Now, in terms of her 2 new moves, in terms of the 5-star AS, I'll argue it's a DPS move, but more like a spam move. It's a pretty low damage mod, but it does have Water Pierce AoE, Pierce resistance down 25, type resistance down 25, stackable up to 3 times for 50% down, and if it's in any type or attack zone, now you also boost the speed and power of all party members, stackable from 50% to 100% if 3 stacks, and it'll also lock in zone. So she can establish Pierce zone and then lock in zone if you don't have anyone else to do that with Awakening. She also has her other move as a preemptive move that gives type shield 50%, max HP up 1500, speed down 100%, which obviously will come into effect against a lot of tougher bosses. And if you're not in a zone, it's a deploying flash stance, pierce flash stance, and inflict break on all enemies. So very similar to 7 in the restrictiveness of establishing zone. However, if there's no zone, you can still 1-turn AF with pierce zone, which is great. Or if you really need to, you can VC her in. So a little bit of a downside, however, still pretty great overall. Now, in terms of should you summon for her, well, first of all, depends how many stones you have, right? I mean, if you have not that many stones, and most of us are broke after the recent banners, there are a lot of alternate Pierce Zone setters out there. If you're strictly talking about free-to-play Pierce Zones, you do have AS Sheila. Mind you, you do have to grind through, like, you know, the fishing and harpoon grind and the 3,000-year arc, which does take a lot of time. So not really upright available right off the bat. There is a Pierce Zone Grasta available through doing the hard version of, or extreme version of Boss Rush. I believe is the Dual Hacho version. So that has some barriers as well, especially if you're relatively new to game and can't beat end-game content. There is AS Foreign, which if you grind out 5 3DCs can get that too. And of course there's any other number of Pierce Zone units if you already summoned a few of them. So in the fact of her Pierce Zone, not absolutely necessary. Obviously, as a DPS, no, I would say that other Pierce units such as AS Leclerc with Manifest, AS Hismina, a multitude of other Pierce units, especially you're talking Water Pierce, are readily available as well. How she really shines is, remember when I said about power creep and especially defensive power creep? You can see that in action now. You're giving the unit a 5,000 multi-hit shield for 1 turn, which is regeneratable if you do 15 Pierce moves. I know if that's probably not a word, but you know. And you have things like type resistance, max HP up, break, speed minus, you can see this is going to be a problem as the bosses got harder and harder. So if you need some defensive capability, and you don't have units such as AS Radius or other super tank units, then she will fit into your team as a necessary thing. Also, keep in mind that for people who don't have teams such as Orlea or Thunder Zone, where you have hold ground and other ways to mitigate or survive attacks, she will fit the bill just fine. Keep in mind that as a free-to-play, you can also use things like Pry to tank at least 1 turn of all the hits out there. And if you're talking about lesser or other types of available gacha units, you can use things like Garum Barrel, which can still tank a 95% hit for 1 turn. There are other barrier type units. You have the Bertrands and AS Bertrands of the world who can also give shielding and so on and so forth. So purely speaking, not absolutely necessary. I would rank her definitely lower at a priority than some of the other more recent banners out there. If you are following Japan's upcoming content, there are some units coming up. However, I don't believe any of them are extremely necessary, except for, spoiler alert, there is a unit far down the road that's is an AS version of the existing unit out there. I would think that would be a priority to go for, but that's a couple months down the road, and so you might have time to save up for that. So just to summarize, not absolutely necessary. It would be more of a luxury pool, but she adds a lot of defensive natures to your team and really does help support offensively and defensively water, pierce, or pierce type teams. As for myself, I will be summoning on this banner. I'm not sure how much I will be summoning on, only because I have no form of Yukino, and so this is a 2% rate up. Might as well try and see if I can add it. Also, content has slowed down quite a bit for another Eden, and I'll be able to save up for future banners if necessary. However, I definitely won't break the bank on this, unlike some of the earlier water magic units, which I did go completely broke on, such as Flam and Eva. Anyways, let me know in the comments below if you're planning on summoning, if you already have her and plan to side grade, if you just want to rush it and have her anyways and summon anyways, and what you think about the unit, and of course the newest fights of Ikwaji. As of this video, I believe I've beaten 4 out of 5. I have not tried the 5th one, and honestly, kind of late in the evening already for me, and I'm honestly a little bit tired. Just got back from vacation and Thanksgiving dinner, and so may not tackle that tonight. Might try that one tomorrow, so hopefully you'll be able to wait another 24 hours for me to beat that last fight if you're not too impatient. Anyways, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.